So today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you everything about my life here in 5 minutes. I have a timer here. I'm going to try to tell you from when I was just a little baby pooping my pants all the way up until where I am right now, hopefully not pooping my pants. And I'm going to give you all the details. We're going to see how much I can get in 5 minutes. Here we go. I was born in Turner, Oregon. I lived there for a few years right next to Enchanted Forest, which I ended up working at later on in my career. It's an amusement park, maybe haunted, maybe not. There's a video about that. You can watch that. And then I moved to Salem, Oregon, where my parents currently live and my younger brother. I went to 2 different elementary schools. The later one was Marion Miller, home of the Monarchs, woot woot. Then I was Hauk Huskies, and then North Salem Vikings. I was the 100th year, a freshman at North Salem. And the guy that wrote the books for Dune, he actually went to North Salem way back in the day, so I guess that's like our claim to fame. During that time, I played a lot of basketball, absolutely loved it. My dad coached me when I was a younger kid. Then through high school, I played it as well. Towards my later years in high school, I started working at that amusement park. I ran a bunch of rides, and I would have to clean the park and have to do maintenance and all this other stuff. So I worked there for like 4 years. Worked with one of my best friends from college, actually, too. Got him a job there, which was a lot of fun. Looking back, during that time, not so fun. After high school, went to Western Oregon University, where I thought I wanted to study biology and become a zoologist. Little did I know, at the age of 18, I was completely wrong, didn't want to do any of that. So studied for a while, eventually got my degree in 2015, but during my later years of college, I actually started working for a bunch of people, doing gardening in my community with these elderly people, and one of them told me, like, I wish I would have traveled more, done this, done that, and he actually recommended Peace Corps. And at the same time, he gave me this book called Planet Walker, which is by John Francis. And he was actually a black guy in America back in like the 1980s in California, saw a big oil spill, saw the damage to the environment, and vowed not to use any gas-powered vehicles. During that time, he decided to walk all around America. He also decided not to talk, so he didn't talk for like 20 years, didn't ride in any gas-powered vehicles for like 20 years as well, and got his bachelor's, master's, and PhD, which is crazy. So read that book, and I was like, wow, okay, I should travel, go out, see the world, blah, blah, blah. And during that time, I decided to sign up for Peace Corps because I thought, why not? What else am I going to do? Ended up getting accepted into Peace Corps, and so that was about 6-7 months away. And during that time, to fill my time, I actually started working at a winery. I made wine for a while, got to stomp grapes with my feet, which is really, really cool, really, really fun. And then I worked as a leathersmith, I guess. I don't know what you call that. But I made belts for this guy and his company, and other like leather apparel for cowboys. I don't know. So I'd sit in his garage and just make belt after belt, and I would make thousands of belts. From cutting the leather to tanning to coloring, everything. I would do it all, which was really, really cool. Got 2 minutes left. After that, of course, came to Nepal. Did Peace Corps for a while and started working for NGOs after that. I met another guy. He said if you want to increase or advance in the development field, you have to have a master's. Like, you won't be able to get any other jobs without a master's. So ended up signing up for my master's, which was this whole hassle in itself. Almost missed the cutoff because of visa issues and holidays in Nepal. Excuse me, I get those seconds back. And so what happened is eventually got my master's in international relations in the UK, played basketball there, got to live my dream, ball is life. Did that, and then went back to Nepal. When I went back to Nepal, started working for a few more NGOs, doing consultancy type of work. And I actually got ripped off by this dude from the UK. He promised me pay and all this for this project that I was setting up. Set it up, and 4, 5, 6 months went by. Only got paid maybe a quarter of what I was supposed to. Eventually I quit because he didn't pay me like the 2,000 pounds he was supposed to. Lesson learned. Right after that, I did a month trip through Nepal doing all this other consultancy work, and then COVID happened. I was in Kathmandu for COVID. I read a book every week, so I read over 54 books in 1 year during COVID, and got a little bit of brain power during that time. After that, I started working as a consultant for the World Bank. Moved down to the Terai, down to Lumbini, and in Talihawa, where the Buddha was born, and lived like the first 29 years of his life. Worked with 100 different women entrepreneurs. They all had their own small micro businesses, supported them. After that job, I moved to Bootwall, where we started working on an infrastructure project for looking over a bridge. And during that time, I realized development work is not for me. There's a lot of top-down stuff going on, corruption and things I just don't agree with. Quit my job. We moved to Pokhara. We started our own website business. After my visa ran out, we came to Jaipur, and now I am currently in Jaipur. This is where I live, and look at that, 5 minutes right on the dot. Wow, pretty impressive. I'm excited about that. Missed a bunch of cool stuff. The only other thing I would add, just because why not, is my claim to fame is in college. We had these parties called beach bumps, and it was the end of the year party, and before that party we went to Portland, saw Amine before he became big. He was performing in a little house party there, and I told my friend, I was like, we have to get this guy to come to our party and perform. He actually came, performed in our house. This was all right before he became super, super big, millions and millions of views on YouTube and traveling around the world performing. So I like to say that I actually discovered Amine. I wish. So that is my life in 5 minutes with a little extra fun snippet. I missed a whole bunch of stuff, missed all my friends, family, everything like that, but I only had 5 minutes. What can I do? What can I say? So if you have any questions about particular points in my life, if you want to hear more about the craziness that happened and all the times I was very, very lucky and ended up where I am now, just ask. Just let me know. So that's it. That's all I got for my 5 minutes of life. So as always, thanks, and I will see you later.